Hey everyone, how you doing? All right, I found this one video, so I figured we'd go over it. It's in Dalton. I guess there's taxpayers are unhappy with their politicians and the way they spend their money. Oddly enough, so let's take a look at it and see. Hey, calm it down. Let's take a look at it and see how this goes.
Can the Dalton Police Department afford to have this many
Dalton Police
officers
Department.
attached to her detail?
We can. We really need them patrolling the streets.
So she's the
Okay, so this is the mayor. All right. Apparently, she's got a security detail, a bunch of police officers. Let's see what's going on.
Part-time mayor of a south suburban village of a little more than
Hold on.
20.
Patrolling the streets.
Part-time.
So she's the part-time mayor of a south suburban village of a little more than 20,000 people.
Yet residents of
20,000 people, so pretty small borough, whatever you want to call it. Part-time mayor. Let's see.
Dalton are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars per year to provide security for their self-proclaimed super mayor.
Tonight, Fox 32 investigates
Super
Tiffany
part-time mayor.
Henyard's
And just to be fair, I don't know this person. I don't know them right. I only see what is in the news. So I don't know what's in her heart. God absolutely does. Nothing is hidden. So I'm just commenting on what I see in the news, just like you all do. I don't know what's in her heart. But let's just take a look. I don't think it's going to be very good.
security detail and the massive amount of overtime it is generating for a handful of officers. Our Dane Placco has more.
Consolidation.
Hey guys, this is Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard, the people.
All right, first off, she's calling herself super mayor, right? She's bragging, braggadocious. Yeah, so you're not supposed to be bragging like that, and her pride is obviously puffed up just from the start.
Mayor and people supervisor.
Tiffany Henyard makes
People
nearly
supervisor.
$250,000 a year serving as both mayor of Dalton
So she's very sure of herself, very proud of herself.
and Thornton Township supervisor, an elected political double dip. She's charismatic and
Hold on. She's got 2 jobs. Let's see.
People's mayor and people supervisor.
Tiffany Henyard makes
Supervisor,
nearly
too.
$250,000 a year serving as both mayor of Dalton and Thornton Township supervisor.
All right, so she's double dipping apparently, per the commentary, making about $250,000 a year with a security detail as a part-time super mayor, whatever that is, and a people supervisor, as far as that's her words. So she's got a pretty good job, pretty lucrative. She seems very happy, very proud of herself.
Elected political double dip. She's charismatic and controversial.
Nobody knows something. Don't nobody know nothing.
Here she is starting a Dalton Village board meeting dressed like the Wesley Snipes character in the movie New Jack City. Later, punctual.
I'm not sure what that's all about. I have seen the movie. It does seem like an odd way to dress, and her decorum seems a bit off for like a political figure, for a mayor. Let's see. I'm gonna give it a fair shake here.
Nobody knows something. Don't nobody know nothing.
Here she is starting a Dalton Village board meeting dressed like the Wesley Snipes character in the movie New Jack City. Later,
Interesting. Well, I mean, I don't think our politicians should be reenacting characters from New Jack City. I've seen the movie. It's very rough. I saw it a long time ago. But yeah, just the way she's operating as a public figure seems a bit odd to me.
her political points with the help of her own DJ.
Every single resident. Pay me what you owe me. Thank you, DJ.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know about the constituency there, but apparently she's got a DJ and she wants someone's money. Let me see.
Thank you, DJ.
And it's hard
Pay me
to
what you owe me. Yeah, she wants the money, apparently, and she got it. $250,000 a year, $250,000 to get her face painted all over the town and have 2 jobs, which they claim is double dipping. Sounds like it could be to me. I don't know. It's not my job to look after that, but let's see.
turn anywhere in Dalton without seeing Henyard's picture or online, where she recently commemorated 9/11 with her own photo. I'll ask you a few
Pride, boasting, right? All sins.
Okay. But when we asked Henyard a few months ago about her use of tax dollars, she was quickly hustled out of the room by armed security. And on Facebook,
Do all mayors have security like this? It seems excessive, especially the amounts they're talking about. Like, it's at hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, an additional on top of her salary and whatever other perks she has. I didn't know that mayors needed that kind of security. Maybe I'm wrong.
Videos posted by Henyard herself, we see her being driven around and surrounded by Dalton officers, which got us to wondering why all...
Oh, we still have queens today. So you get your nice little vehicular motorcade there. You get taken out, treated like a princess, armed security all the time. It seems like a pretty luxurious gig.
Cops.
We weren't opposed to having the security detail. We asked how long and how often.
Dalton trustee Brittany Norwood says Henyard began assembling her detail shortly after being elected in 2021, using hand-picked Dalton police officers.
You need security like that to go door to door? You need an entire security team of police officers off duty just for you to walk to the door and talk to people? I don't know if you're making them really angry or you have enemies or something's going on, but that seems like a lot of security. Unless she's had death threats that I don't know about, which is possible.
Using a Freedom of Information request, we obtained the work records for 6 of the officers assigned to Henyard's security detail at various times and showed them to some of Dalton's trustees.
This is a Freedom of Information request we did to see how much overtime these officers are making on her security detail.
Oh, wow. 162 hours.
162. Well, that's nothing. What goes through your mind when you see these
That's
numbers?
nothing.
It's disappointing. It's frustrating.
The officer
Frustrating? It sounds like fraud. Frustrating? I don't think that quite conveys the message well enough.
are paid every 2 weeks, which without overtime is
2
80
weeks.
hours. But when they're put on Henyard's detail,
Should be
that
80 hours, maybe.
balloons to well over 100 hours, sometimes 200 hours. And in the
200 hours in 2 weeks? How's that even possible?
case of Officer Terry Young last May, 303 hours worked over a 2-week period.
303 hours in 2 weeks? And you're telling me you're not charging the taxpayers for you to sleep? Come on, that sounds ridiculous. That sounds ridiculous. So apparently there's some fraudulent activities going on here, as best I can tell. I've never worked 303 hours in 2 weeks, and I don't know that you have either. So I don't know, maybe they're charging to sleep. I'm not quite sure, but it seems like there's probably some fraud going on here. Need a nice forensic accountant in there to figure things out.
That resulted in a single paycheck of more than $13,000.
Not bad.
How? How does a person put in a 2-week pay period, 303 hours? That's impossible. That's impossible.
I've never heard of it.
Does he never go to sleep?
In fact, there
It's
are
236
hours total in 2 weeks, meaning Young was not being paid for only 33 hours over that period. Other officers on the security detail are also racking.
And you wonder why people don't trust politicians. They sit there and they watch them run around like kings and queens with their vehicle security, their private planes. They're pampered everywhere they go. They get the best of the best. Great medical coverage, great benefits, great retirement packages, all that. They get everything amazing, right? And then when they finally retire, they get set up on some private corporation on some board somewhere to get, fluffed up even more. So it's a very luxurious job. Like, it's a very lucrative job. There are a lot of benefits. While you're in government, you can deal out a lot of contracts to people on bids and things like that. So you can help out a lot of people in the private sector. You can puff up your income that way. And then when you finally get out of there, you just get set up at a private corporation on a board or, somewhere in the company, in a private company, where then they can get your payback, the money you should have been making while you were doing your public service, as they call it. So let's see what else happens here.
Overtime paychecks in the multiple thousands of dollars.
Never mind if I ask you a couple of questions about your security detail.
Absolutely not.
I'm asking her.
Yeah, she said so.
A couple of weeks ago, we tried to question
They don't
Henyard
answer
about
questions.
her detail as she went door to door in Dalton giving out water on a 100-degree day.
Please pay me $250,000 a year. I'll go hand out water too. I do it for free.
Surrounded by police, firefighters, public works employees.
Just an aside, that outfit is out of bounds. It's way too tight. Way too much showing there, showing off things that you should not be showing off.
And 2 videographers documenting.
But she seems like the type of person that loves the attention, who loves being seen and wants people talking about her, wants her face posted up all over the place. Like a lot of politicians, right? A lot of them are narcissists. So, and like I said, I don't know her personally. I'm just judging off what I'm seeing. But she seems to really like herself. Very, very proud.
Dalton's Facebook page.
I want to tell the people I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going. I hope they post what we actually do here in the village of Dalton and stop telling lies.
But when we gave her an opportunity to
hand out water? I mean, we can find someone to do that for a lot cheaper than $250,000 a year, plus your security detail who somehow is working 303 hours in 2 weeks. However that math adds up. I don't guess I made it to that high of a math level in class. I never figured that one out.
in the OT. Mayor, why do you need so many?
No comment.
You guys,
Details of your security.
What did you say? Water? It sounded like you said water.
Earlier that day, we watched as a Dalton cop drove Henyard from her other job at Thornton Township to a Mexican restaurant for lunch. Trustees say the security detail picks the mayor up at her home in the morning and is with her until she's dropped off at night.
That's nice. So you never have to drive. Apparently, like when you finally make it in society and you get to be like a politician, you don't have to drive yourself. You don't have to get yourself food. You get other people to go out and do everything for you. They do it all. They book your calendar. All you have to do is show up. Like they literally do everything for you. You get like probably like a private assistant, whatever they call that, executive assistant. Nice.
Often taking her on errands and shopping. Does she need a security detail?
Absolutely not.
She doesn't even need it.
Why would you need a security detail? Oh,
Especially if you're a part-time mayor, right? Unless there are like death threats and the FBI is involved and there's some reason, but they haven't said that. And they probably wouldn't be complaining if that was the case, right? If she had all death threats and all this stuff and, you know, she had to get security. But it seems like she's just taking it as like a perk for the job. Like, hey, I don't have to drive anywhere. I get these vehicles, you know, from the city. So I get these vehicles from the city. I get driven around, picked up. I get treated like a queen. So basically, she's the queen of Dalton, you know? And apparently, she's the people supervisor. So she gets to double dip, making all that money. And she gets to hand out water, which is nice. It's nice to hand out water. I wish you'd give them a reusable bottle instead of using all that plastic. So let's not destroy the earth while you're, you know, doing your good deeds.
Loves it. She just loves it. She loves the detail. I think
she loves the attention.
It makes her feel as if she's like a
queen.
Superstar.
Dalton trustees have filed a lawsuit against Henyard, saying she's not justified the need for security and is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on it without the board's approval.
I see no justification whatsoever.
They don't have any kind of oversight. She's allowed to just get the security board. There's no oversight, someone to approve, like whatever she's spending her money on. Hey, shh. You would think there'd be somebody there to approve these kind of expenditures, especially when you have to go sue someone or her office, right, to get the money back or at least look into it. You would think there'd be some kind of oversight built in there, but apparently not.
And more than that, it's really a detriment to the residents of Dalton.
How so?
The residents, if we would take the same money and put it on officers patrolling the streets, then the residents will see a much better presence and public safety would be better.
Yeah, you get a much better return on investment for the community, for the people that actually need it. Not to puff up her ego while she gets driven all over town so she can hand out some water bottles and whatever else she does. I don't know what else she does, but this is not a good look.
Shootings. So we need the extra police.
Right. They have shootings. They have actual violent crime to deal with, not photo opportunities for you to drive around for the cameras. So yeah, if you're going to take that money and spend those hundreds of thousands of dollars, why don't you put it into the officers, right? Don't put it into someone's security detail so they can just go around and be seen and enjoy being the queen of Dalton.
Patrolling our streets instead of patrolling her.
And we found Dalton credit card statements showing that Henyard takes the detail with her even when she travels out of town, spending thousands of dollars on plane tickets, lodging, and meals for the officers. Mayor, why are you taking all...
I would love to see all of this added up. Like get a forensic accountant in there and figure it out for 1 year and just calculate, like they said, the travel out of town, how much of that travel is actually business related for her job and how much is like recreational or how much is like vacation kind of shoehorned in with a business trip. Like you go down for a business trip somewhere for one day and then you kind of tack on 4 or 5 extra days for vacation. It would be interesting. Just get a forensic accountant in there, parse everything out and figure it out and see exactly how much she's costing that city. And kind of the return on the investment, right? That $250,000 a year you're paying her. Like, figure out exactly what she's doing with that money besides the little things that I've seen, right? I'm sure she has other things she does, but this doesn't seem like a good deal for the community from what I'm seeing. I don't live there, so I'm not the expert. You'd have to ask the people in Dalton that.
Officers out of town with you. Isn't that a waste of taxpayers' money?
Let's go to this one right here.
Anything you want to say to defend yourself on this? As for the village's finances, trustees say Dalton is now getting sued by some vendors for failure to pay its bills.
In the last 2 fiscal years, we're $5 million in the hole, and a big part of it is the security detail.
It's embarrassing.
$5 million in the hole.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it does look embarrassing.
You don't see the governor with a detail as hers.
Oh, that's crazy. So not even the governor has a detail like hers, but she's a part-time mayor and she has a detail like that. You have to be very careful about your politicians, the people you end up selecting. If you put people in there that are very boastful and prideful and just want to get up there and greedy, especially greedy, you add all those together, right? Prideful, boastful, greedy, narcissist. You put all those together and it creates a very rough person. And you're putting them in a bad situation because you're giving them the power that they really want and they may not deserve it, right? Depending on the politician and the situation. But this looks very, very bad. So sorry to the people of Dalton. It's not a good
Lawsuit
look.
over the mayor's detail has not yet been settled. On Monday, we emailed a list of detailed questions to Henyard's spokesman, but
Let me
never
guess.
received a response. Dane Placco, Fox 32, Chicago.
Right. So let's jump over here. This will be a quick one. Let's see. Let's check the quick sheet here real quick. What we got? Pride, 100%. I'll just go off the screen here. So pride, 100%. She's very, very proud of herself. Greed, sure looks that way. And the people she's got working with her, they appear to be greedy also, just from their timesheets, if you want to call them that. So you definitely need to look into those timesheets and figure out what's going on there. It seems like someone's dipping in the trough there a little too much. Lust. I mean, you could say she's creating lust in that outfit she wore, which is completely out of line and unholy. She lusts for money, lusts for fame, lusts for power. So I guess we'll check that one. She's making people envious, and maybe she's envious of other people that act like that, and she's trying to like chase it, and she's trying to act like someone else who's like a dirty, greasy politician. Maybe she's trying to be like that. So I guess that's envious. Sloth. I don't know. I don't know what she does there other than what they put in that video. So maybe she's doing all kinds of stuff for the city that I can't see. If not, maybe she's being slothful and not actually doing her job, instead of just running around doing photo ops. Possibly. I don't know. Wrath. I didn't see that in the video, so I'm not sure on that one. Gluttony. Gluttony for money, maybe. I don't know about food or anything like that, but definitely checking a few boxes. Let's go down to the more detailed list here. Arrogance. Yeah, I would say so. The one video she showed where she had the DJ and court or that office, whatever that was, that seems quite arrogant, the way she was dressed up. Almost like she was like on stage or whatever, dancing around on stage, And a DJ just seemed very arrogant to me. Boastful, yes, 100%. She does seem boastful. Yeah, she's coveting money for sure. Fame and power. You can covet lots of things. Yeah, defrauding. That seems like an accurate statement. Like I said, get the accountant in there, figure out how things go and how much of those, out of town trips are like business related and how much are vacation. And maybe, she's shoehorning in like 4 days with 1 day of work. I don't know. Somebody will look into that. Desiring the praise of people. But yes, she loves being people, like almost like worship, right? She loves being on stage, loves being in front of people, having her face posted up all over the place. And she probably enjoys the praise of people, right? So that's a sin. You should be doing it to serve people, not to get something out of it, not to be like worshipped. You should be doing it because it's the right thing to do, not so that you can be worshipped and you can walk around, with your puffed up chest, feeling very prideful. Envy, yeah, you're creating envy in people because you're running around with a security detail. You look like the president of the U.S., right? It looks like a Secret Service detail. And you're just going around handing out water. And that one clip, which isn't fair to judge off that, but just that one clip, like, that's a lot of security. And no one's talking about death threats. So you're definitely going to create envy in people because you got this huge security team, right? They come, they pick you up, they take you home, they take you to your lunch. Like, you don't have to do anything. You just have to like walk out of your house and get in the back of the thing and get driven around. So you're going to create envy in people, which is going to create greed in other people, right? She's definitely greedy. Like that paycheck double dipping in jobs, that's so weird. You got like 2 part-time jobs, you get away with that. You seem quite greedy for $250,000 a year. Lust, yeah, you're going to create lust in other people, especially with those pants she had on and that outfit like sucked in. You're showing off your chest, you're showing off your butt, like your thighs, everything. You're not hiding anything, any part of your body in an outfit like that, and you're doing it for a reason. You want people to see your body, right? If they would allow it, you might walk around in a bikini. I don't know. I don't know her personally, but you might as well be the way you're dressed, right? Those yoga pants, they leave nothing to the imagination, and that's on purpose. It's basically a way of getting around wearing clothing, right? You can put those on and you're not technically naked, but you're basically showing everything anyway. So those are absolutely out of line. Lust, yeah, you're creating lust. We talked about that one. Hatred, maybe from your constituents when they see how you spend their money and, the liberties you take in your job, possibly. Hypocrisy, yeah. I mean, if you're a mayor, you should be talking about fiscal responsibility. And I don't know how you could possibly do that without being a hypocrite. With that level of security for no reason, just so they can drive you around so you can feel important, drive yourself. Get your keys and go put them in your car and drive around, right? You're supposed to be fiscally responsible for the town that you represent. So I don't think you need to be spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on security that could go, like they said, to another police officer or 2, or a fireman or whatever, some public servant. There's a job that someone could be doing for the community, for their whole shift, and not just doing whatever it is she's doing for $250,000 a year, plus the travel, plus the security team. Add it all up, it's quite a bit. So there's no way she can talk about fiscal responsibility when she works and lives like that publicly. She's just flaunting it in the people's faces. Money is an idol in her life. Money is an idol. Fame is an idol. Idols can be a lot of different things, not just religious symbols. And she loves herself, but yeah, she's basically making herself an idol by sticking her face up all over town. Jealousy, she's going to create that in others just by the way she operates and the way she lives. It's going to create jealousy in other people. And maybe she's jealous of other people and that's why she acts like that, right? One of her... I don't know if it's her favorite movie. I don't know if it's her favorite movie, but one of the ones she used was New Jack City, right? I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but it's pretty awful. Bunch of people running around, could care less about God, sinning all over the place. They're killing people, they're dealing drugs, which kills people slowly, sometimes quickly, right? No regard for the law, doing whatever they want, just living like lawless heathens. And that's the movie she chose, or at least that's how she chose to dress up. I'm not sure on the context of that, why she did it. But an odd choice of movies. And then to have a DJ in there, that's so weird. Laying up treasures on earth. Yeah. So she apparently loves to lay her treasures here and not in the afterlife. But yeah, she's definitely all about the treasures here. I didn't see anything humble about her. From what I could tell in that short clip, I didn't see anything humble. Pride, off the charts. She's got like Donald Trump level pride. That's how proud she is, right? Different side of the spectrum, whatever, different person, but her pride is just as puffed up as his. And if you can't see that, I don't know what to tell you. That's a huge problem you have with these public servants. That's what they like to be called. They're public servants. She doesn't look like she's serving the constituents from the short video that I saw. Swindling, yeah, 100%. at least, what would they say, 303 hours in 2 weeks? You might want to check into that. So that private security detail seems like completely unnecessary. There needs to be financial oversight there. Ungodliness, yes. Like if you put her life, right? Say, this is her life, this is her example, that's what she's showing. And this is holy over here. They don't seem anywhere close. And I'm saying that like I don't know her personally. God 100% knows her, everything. Her intentions, everything she's thought, everything she's seen, done, all of it. So I'll leave the judgment up to God. I'm just providing my commentary from what I see. But from the long laundry list of sins that we've gone through, pride and envy, everything else, everything we've gone through, defraud, right, boasting, she doesn't appear to be a holy person to me. I'm not getting that feeling. Like I put Christ next to her, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of correlation there. Doesn't seem to be a very godly person. So you got to be very careful when you have people in office that don't have any moral compass, right? Because they have no relationship with God, so their moral compass just goes wherever they want it to go, which will lead to into sin and into the trenches. So, oh yeah, these are just some things. Yeah, just marked it up. Yeah, women with head covers, no, you don't have to do that. And then, these are that's not for this video. That's just an aside. There's some things in here that aren't correct. But that's my 2 cents on this mayor here. So, take that for what it is, but it seems like you definitely want to do an investigation on that one and figure out what's going on. These, from what I'm seeing, just from the outward appearance on this video, these are the types of politicians you want to avoid 100%. Because they get up there and all they want to do is serve themselves and serve the people around them. They're a close-knit group, right? So the entire population, all the way up to your leadership structure, right, is a triangle, basically, right? You got all the people, then the power just gets consolidated the closer you get to the top. And then you get to the top. But the problem is they're supposed to represent the entire triangle, right? The whole triangle. They're supposed to represent all of it. But they don't. They end up representing that very tiny triangle within the actual triangle they're supposed to be serving. There's just a little tiny triangle they care about at the top, and that's what they focus on. So be very careful with that. But that's it. Just a quick one for today. So just remember, God loves us and wants to provide guidance to help us, right? That will benefit us in this life and after we die, right? After we pass on. So keep that in mind. Just please listen, pay attention, and try to live a holy life. It's the only protection you have. And it's the easiest thing to do. You just have to be a holy life. You have to be a holy roller here, which is very difficult because in a fallen world, a holy person is going to seem really strange. You're going to be a weird person. No one's going to understand you, right? You're not going to want to lie ever, or cheat people, right? Or wear scantily clad clothing. You're not going to be showing off your body parts. You're going to be dressed very modestly and very humble. Like modest and humble in this world is considered like weak. So you're not going to be like a very popular person. You're going to be very strange and weird here currently, right? Because a holy person is not going to be acting like that. Running around wanting your face plastered up all over the place, wanting to make oodles and boodles of money, have people doing everything for you, sitting in the back of the car getting taken around, right? To be holy, like, you're not going to be boastful. You're not going to be arrogant. You're not going to be nasty, right? You're going to be kind and compassionate and empathetic. You're going to be weird. You're going to be weird for God. And you're going to be holy for God, right? Which means you may not be popular here, but who cares about that? And honestly, this place is changing anyway, so holy here might be pretty cool down the road. But currently, you're going to be weird, so just deal with it. But that's it. So have a great day, and we'll chat next time.